Brilliant stuff. Right, well, my final one, I've also tried to do something a bit different with this. So do you know what? We've had some fan mail in, right? You'll be loving this. So lots of people have responded really well to our kind of first podcast. I've had a few things on Twitter, a few DMs, but also quite a few emails saying they like this idea, they like the kind of dynamic and stuff. But I've had 3 emails from people who like the fact that last time we didn't just do all teaching and learning, we focused on sleep last time, and they actually requested, the requests are coming in here. They must see us, obviously they've seen us on camera, they know we're kind of prime athletic specimens. They want us to focus on kind of health and fitness and all that kind of stuff as well. So for the future, bear that in mind, all right? So, So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to talk about the importance of ending the day on a positive. So this is something that I wrote about, but I've been thinking a lot about recently. So I went through quite a few number of years where I was quite unhappy. Certainly when I moved school, as I alluded to earlier, I couldn't teach for about 2 years. Well, maybe, certainly at least a year. I just couldn't teach because I couldn't control the kids and it was just a disaster. But even kind of throughout all of my time teaching full time, I would always focus on the negative. I could have 4 great lessons, even 4 4/5 great lessons. But if something went wrong in, one of those, a tiny bit of those lessons, that's the thing I'd think about all the way home. That's the thing I'd think about at night. Now, I, like you all, I'm a sucker for reading anything, kind of, Tim Ferriss kind of related kind of stuff about enhancing your life and all this kind of thing. And I've messed around with loads of different formats for this to try and kind of counteract my tendency to look on the negative side of things. But none of them have stuck. So I tried journaling for a while. Everyone chats about journaling, right? I just couldn't make it. I just couldn't find time to make it work. And then I'd feel bad about not journaling, which was kind of counterproductive. Then I got an app, which is kind of essentially like a journaling app, but it was supposed to kind of make things quicker. So you were to write down like 3 positives from your day, share a photo from your day, write what you were going to do tomorrow. And I kept that up for a few weeks, but I was just kind of going through the motions of doing it. And I was like, and that was bringing me down as well. I shouldn't be looking at your phone last thing at night and all that kind of thing. So that was kind of messing up my sleep. So that was a disaster as well. Anyway, cut a long story short, the thing I've settled upon now, and this, I've managed to keep this going without fail every time I'm home for about 6 months now. And I really, really like it. I started first doing this with my wife, but now I'm with Isaac, our 4-year-old, I do this. And it's just, I ask Isaac every night. As you know, we sleep in the same bed as we talked about last. That's a whole nother story. So we've got plenty of time to chat. So after we've read a story, at the end of the night, I say to Isaac, what was your favorite part of the day? Or, because I'm not a big fan of favorite anymore, because it kind of derails all the other parts of the day, like devalues them. So I'll say, just tell me a part of your day that you really enjoyed. So he tells me a part of his day, and like yesterday's friend Bobby was around, who was absolutely off his head, and they were running around dressing up. So he was telling me about that. And then if he now knows that he asked Daddy, what was a good part of your day? And it's the corniest thing ever, right? But it just means that it forces you to think of something in your day that you enjoyed. It's a positive thing. It's the last thing we talk about before we then kind of go to sleep. So I then close my eyes and I'm thinking about that thing that I've just described to Isaac. I'm thinking about Isaac's thing that he enjoyed. And it's just nice. And I think I'll need to put it to the test. I'm quite happy at the moment, but I'll know I'll have a dip in could be any time, but certainly in the kind of a month or a year, I'm sure I'll go through another kind of prolonged dip. So that'll be the test of whether this makes me a bit more robust throughout that dip. But it certainly seems to be working now. And it's quite a low cost way of doing it. It doesn't take any time, no prep or anything like that. And I get the feeling it's something you could do to yourself. Like you could just lie there and think, what's my favorite part of the day? What's a good part of the day? But I certainly think if you've got someone who you can ask that question to and they can ask that question back, it's kind of double the fun, right? Because you're sharing their joy, they're sharing your joy and so on. So that's kind of my thing that's certainly helping me. I don't know if you've ever kind of experimented with anything like that or felt the need to.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, it's something that my wife Holly and I have done from like the very start of, or very early on in our relationship, to do daily gratitude.
Nice.
And so like literally the last thing that we do at night, I'll say, what are you grateful for today, my love? And she'll tell me a couple of things, and then she'll ask me the same question. And I must admit, quite often I fall asleep halfway through the conversation. But that's not a bad thing.
No,
right?
True.
But as well as it just being a way to positively reflect on things that we're grateful for and finish on a good note. it's also a great way to appreciate each other, because often the things that we'll say we're grateful for are, oh, I'm really grateful that you emptied the nappy bin today. It was really stinking.
Yeah.
Or, I'm really grateful that you brought the washing in. Just like really simple stuff like that. And, I think often partners kind of, one of the issues, but big issues in relationships is people don't feel appreciated, right?
Yep.
It's like I'm doing so much stuff. And so it's like you actually make time every day to appreciate each other. And it's absolutely like so powerful, I think. So I can't emphasize enough the positive impact that I think that's had on our relationship and both of our mental health. And we've also got some questions that we ask at dinner time, but I might save that for a future episode.
Tease them, keep the listeners hooked. Oh, that's what you specialize at. That's brilliant. Right.